representatives of all the millions of the Chinese soldiers who shed their blood, who sacrificed their life, and they too become the national heroes for the current generation of the Chinese nation and the future generations. And I think by honoring them, we honor ourselves, we honor our national history and our Chinese civilization, and we honor peace. That is the most important thing.
You know, we talked about international solidarity towards ending the Second World War, and the international solidarity is also present today with the turnout of those international dignitaries that have arrived in Beijing. You're looking at live pictures of the Tiananmen Square that's fully decorated for the commemoration today. There are the year-marking installations that show the years 1945 and 2025. Today is September 3rd. In the capital, Beijing, the commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression in the World Anti-Fascist War will begin soon.
CGTN is broadcasting the commemoration live to global audiences. We're now watching live pictures from the Tiananmen Square. The commemoration is going to begin in just a moment. we could see the obelisk, the monument to the people's heroes.
The commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War now begins. Please all rise and stand at attention. Fire the gun.
An 80-gun salute is fired to mark the 80 years since the victory of the War of Resistance. The thunder of guns resembles roars of soldiers on the battleground. It is also like a song of triumph, sending the time and space to tell our fallen heroes. China today is a great country with majestic mountains and rivers, and its people are full of pride and ambition.
Great changes have taken place over the 80 years from 1945 to 2025. Today, China is safeguarding world peace and contributing to the progress of human civilization with fearless strength and determination. The Great Wall symbolizes the unyielding spirit of the Chinese nation. This great nation never bows to any enemy or any force. Those who dare to invade us are doomed to crash into the iron Great Wall with bloodshed.
Chinese people's deep love towards the motherland can be seen from the steadfast gaze of the honor guards. When their patriotism erupts like a volcano, there will be no insurmountable hurdles or unachievable feats for them. Never stops. Under the strong leadership of the Communist Party of China, the Chinese nation, with a firm grip on its own destiny, is marching forward staunchly and proudly.
monument of the people's heroes to the national flagpole. And from the great victory to the great rejuvenation, the Chinese nation has walked a long way of innumerable difficulties and hardships.
This is a road to national independence and people's liberation. It is also a road to national dignity, prosperity, and strength, and a road to Chinese modernization and a global community with a shared future.
The national anthem, March of the Volunteers, which was born during wartime, will soon be played. It was written in 1935 in the early years of the war against Japanese aggression.
Raise the national flag and sing the national anthem. Please be seated. I invite General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee, President of the People's Republic of China, and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, Comrade Xi Jinping, to deliver an important speech. All my fellow Chinese across the nation, Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, and representatives of international organizations, distinguished guests, all officers and soldiers participating in the parade, comrades and friends. Today, we gather here to solemnly commemorate the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War. It is an occasion for us to remember history, honor fallen heroes, cherish peace, and create a better future. On behalf of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China, the National People's Congress, the State Council, the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, and the Central Military Commission, I would like to pay high tribute to our veteran soldiers and comrades, patriots, and officers who fought in the war of resistance against Japanese aggression. And to the Chinese nationals from home and abroad who made important contributions to our victory. I would also like to express my sincere thanks to foreign governments
和国际友人
that
表示
supported
衷
and
心
assisted
感
the
谢
Chinese people in resisting aggression.
向参加今天大会的
I
各国
also
来
extend
宾
a warm welcome
表
to
示
our guests
热烈
from
欢
around
迎
the world who are with us today.
同志们、朋友们，
Comrades and friends,
中国人民抗日战争
the Chinese people's
是
war
艰
of
苦卓
resistance
绝
against
的
the Japanese aggression
伟大战
was the
争，
great war fought with tenacity
在中
and
国
valor
共产党倡导建立的
under the banner of the
抗日民族统一
National
战线
United
旗帜
Front
下，
against Japanese aggression
中
established
国人民
at the
以铮
initiative
铮
of
铁
the
骨
Communist Party of
战
China,
强敌，
the Chinese people
以
stood
血肉
up
之
to
躯
fight the formidable
筑长城
enemy within iron will
取得
and formed a
近代
great
以
war
来
with flesh and blood to
反抗
defend the
外敌
nation
入侵
and
的
ultimately achieved
第
the
一次
first complete
完全
victory
胜利。
in resisting foreign aggression in modern times.
中国人民抗日战争
The Chinese
是
people's
世
war
界
of
反
resistance
法
against
西
the
斯战
Japanese
争
aggression
的
was
重
an
要组
important
成
part
部
of the
分。
world anti-fascist war.
中国人民以巨大的
With
民
huge
族
national
牺牲，
sacrifice, the Chinese people
为拯救
made
人类文
major
明，
contributions
保
to
卫
saving
世界
human
和平
civilization and
做出
safeguarding
了
world
重大
peace.
贡献。历史警示我们，
History cautions us
人类命运休
that
戚与共。
humanity rises and falls together.
各个国家、各个民族只有
Only
平等
when
相
all
待、
countries and nations
和睦相处、
treat each other
守
as
望
equals,
相助，
coexist in
才能
peace
维
and
护
support each
共
other,
同安全，
can we uphold common
消灭
security,
战争根源，
eradicate the root cause of
不
war,
让历史悲
and
剧
prevent
重演。
the reoccurrence of historical tragedies.
同志们、朋友们，
Comrades and friends,
中华民族是不畏强暴
the，Chinese nation is a
自立
great
自
nation
强
that
的
is
伟大
never
民族。
intimidated by any bullies
当年
and always values
面对
independence
正
and
义与
forges
邪
ahead.
恶、光
In
明
the
与
past,
黑暗
when、faced with critical struggles
进
between
步与
good and
反动
evil,
的
light and
生死
darkness,
较量，
progress and reaction, the Chinese
中
people
国人民同仇
rallied
敌忾，
together to defy
奋起
the
反
enemy.
抗，为国家生存而战，
They fought for the
为
survival
民
of the
族复
country,
兴而战，
for the rejuvenation
为
of the
人
Chinese
类正
nation,
义而
and
战。
for justice of the whole humanity.
今天，人类又面
Today,
临和平还是战争
humanity again has to choose
对话
between
还
peace
是对
and
抗
war, dialogue
共
and
赢还是
confrontation,
零和的抉择。
win-win cooperation and zero-sum game.
中国人民坚定站在历史
The
正确
Chinese
一边，
people firmly stand
站
on
在
the right
人类
side
文
of
明
history
进步
and the
一边，
progress of human civilization.
坚持走和平发展道
We
路，
will remain committed to the path
与
of
各国
peaceful
人民
development
携手
and
构
join
建
hands with all
人类
peoples
命
around the
运共
world
同体
in building a community with a shared future for humanity.
中国人民解放军
The Chinese People's
始
Liberation
终是
Army has been
党和人
and
民
will always be
完全可以
the
信赖
heroic
的
armed
英
forces that
雄
the
部队，
party and the people can fully trust
全军
and
将
rely
士
on.
要忠实履行神圣
All
职
service
责，
members should
加快
faithfully
建设
perform their
世界
sacred
一
duties,
流军队，
speed up the building of a
坚决维
world-class
护
military,
国家主
and
权、
firmly
统
safeguard
一，
China's sovereignty,
领土完
unity,
整，
and territorial integrity.
为实现中华民族伟大
All
复兴
service members should
提
provide
供战略支
strategic
撑，
support for the great rejuvenation of the
为世界
Chinese
和
nation
平与发
and make
展
greater
做
contributions
出
to the
更大
peace
贡
and
献。
development of the world.
历史承载过去，
History
也
carries
启
the
迪未
legacy
来。
of the past and inspires the future.
新时代新征程，
On a new journey in a
全国
new
各族
era,
人民
the Chinese people
要在中国
of
共
all
产党
ethnic
坚
groups
强领导
should,
下，
under the strong leadership of the Communist Party of
坚
China,
持马克思列宁主
follow
义、
Marxism, Leninism,
毛泽东
Mao
思
Zedong
想、
thought,
邓小平理
Deng
论，
Xiaoping theory,
三个代表重要思
The
想：
theory of three represents
科学发展
and
观
the scientific outlook and
全面
development
贯彻新时代
and fully
中国
implement
特
the
色
thoughts on
社会
socialism
主义思
with
想，
Chinese characteristics for the new era.
坚定不移走中国特色
We
社
should
会主
stay
义道
firmly
路
on，the path of socialism with
传
Chinese
承和弘
characteristics
扬
and carry
伟
forward
大
the
抗
great
战精
spirit
神，
of the war of
脱
resistance.
力奋发，
We should press
勇
ahead
毅
with
前行，
enterprise and resolve,
为
and
中国式
advance
现
in
代
unity
化
the cause of building
全面
China
推
into a
进
great
强
country
国建
on
设
all fronts
民
and
族
realizing great
复兴
national
伟业
rejuvenation
而
through
团
China's
结奋
modernization.
斗。中华民族伟大复兴势
The
不可
great
挡，
rejuvenation of the Chinese
人类
nation
和平与
is
发展的
irresistible.
崇高
The
事
noble
业
cause of peace
必
and
将胜利
development of humanity will prevail.
阅兵开始。
The military parade now begins. Markers in position.
The parade guards mark positions and boundaries at the parade ground. 60 soldiers will line up in front of the eastern and western ornament columns on the Tiananmen Square.
Marching with steadfast footsteps and imposing bearing, the ironclad troops showcase their unshakable faith, strong conviction, strict discipline, and firm commitment to their duties.
Standing firm on the ground of the motherland and bearing the hope of the Chinese nation, the heroic People's Liberation Army has forged ahead dauntlessly throughout wars, achieving great historic feats for the party and the people.
At this solemn moment today, the People's Armed Forces are ready for the inspection of General Secretary of the Communist Party of China's Central Committee, Chinese President, and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, Xi Jinping. They are also ready to be reviewed by the party and the people.
Chairman, the troops for review are fully prepared. Please proceed with the inspection. Chief Commander of the Parade, Han Zhengxuan. Let's begin.
Next, President Xi will pay an eye salute to the party national and military flags.
In a typical back and forth, President Xi says, "Salute to you, comrades." And the soldiers reply, "Hail to Chairman." The president then says, "Comrades, thank you for your hard work." To which the soldiers reply, "We serve the people."
As you could hear right there, the phrase "serve the people" was written into the party constitution at the 7th National Congress of the Communist Party of China in 1945. Serving the people wholeheartedly was established as the fundamental principle of the party and the People's Liberation Army.
As President Xi's car rides past each segment of the troops, he greets the soldiers. The troops respond vociferously, paying respect and demonstrating their loyalty.
同志们辛苦了。
These phrases are used in inspections, parades, and other military gatherings.
The PLA views itself not only as the defender of national sovereignty, but as an integral part of society with a direct responsibility to safeguard people's well-being. In peacetime, the Chinese military participates in missions that serve the people's interests, such as disaster relief. And all this has earned them the title, the most beloved people in China.
同志们辛苦了。
When President Xi's car rides past the troops, the soldiers shout, "Follow the party's command, fight to win, forge exemplary conduct. Justice will prevail, peace will prevail, the people will prevail."
party's command sets the military's political orientation. Fighting to win is the basic function of the military, and the fundamental objective is development. Forging exemplary conduct demonstrates the Army's nature and principle.
Justice will prevail. Peace will prevail. The people will prevail. These three phrases were the closing lines in President Xi's speech 10 years ago, when the country marked the 70th anniversary of the victory of Chinese people's war of resistance against Japanese aggression and the world anti-fascist war.
《放飞和平歌》。 纪念中国人民抗日战争暨世界反法西斯战争胜利80周年大会到此结束。
确实开了多少集？电量呢，至少还能耗1开到后来，我到4点钟尤其是飞机到这儿，摇不下去。我也能把气头调到最高了。알았습니다. 네. 네, 직접 관심. 네. 예, 알았습니다. 네. 여기 끝났습니다. 네. 끝났습니다. 네. 开过就知道，你跳吗？我第50个，我数不下来。我在家看电视，真的很好。帽带收起来，帽带。或者在这不是不工作，只是来看一下。
8:20开始，大家就都进入工作状态。站起来，继续准备。再来一张啊！马上。好，在这里看这现在人少了。看一下。
哎， 台，马上开始。啊，咱们马上就开始了。好，各位首长赶紧上台，马上开始。好，往里看。来，各位首长，马上开始了。各位首长，马上开始了。咱们上台，赶紧上台。啊，马上开始了。来，您各位。领导，咱们上。来，各位领导，马上就开始了，马上就开始了，赶紧，马上就开始了。好，往里，好，你赶紧上台。好，
好，请尽快落座。
赶紧落座吧。赶紧，马上开始了。马上就开始了，你赶紧找自己的区域。
可不可以啊？对，转。
I have the sunlight in the screen. I can't see very well what.
洗手间的什么是洗手间？往前走。
Is this focused now?
好，来，会员，来，对呀，老戴，这不刚才说你刚才跟张传，你带着相机那是啊？这个照，领导，请赶快落座，要开始了。好了，谢谢各位。
能抓紧时间落座吧，马上开始了。好。非常好。我先提醒我。
刚才也有飞机。
进来，这个看着。对。
Oh no. I think he's come on now. Really? Hold on. How about now?
他们这一边穿正装的，应该看着他们的位置。
How about now?
Q 走了，是啊。
Okay, let me try again, but don't expect a sharp image when I zoom all the way. That's never been when it's it doesn't give you a crispy image. 'Honestly, I'm having some issues in seeing the screen because it's. One second, I need to myself a new one. 不是你说交大会？Okay, I'm looking in the viewfinder. Can you see? 五云，对，五云也要早早进去了。No, I see what you mean. Can I turn off the camera? Hey.
再翻一下。是，再来一下。
光那个19一模一样。要么特别厚，是吧？对，它这个就是雾蒙蒙的嘛。
这是记者席，昨天晚上实际上是正位置，没什么地方。正好让那些让
09年下到09，然后去一会儿进去
原来在那个西台呢，听说比较了一下。
就说19年那个是全部要倒，等他2、3点才知道谁。
啊，对，等的
谁派，真名指派。
以前都很痛。
对啊，像我们真是可怕那个。他半夜2、3点才跟你说谁可以派，谁不能。对。哦。
知道，好。
Hi. Hi. Am I? Okay. Yeah, put me off, please. I need to turn off my camera. I see that the focus is it's not okay, but.
北京の天安門です。会場周辺は厳戒態勢が敷かれ、緊張感に包まれています。北京の天安門です。会場周辺は厳戒態勢が敷かれ、緊張感に包まれています。目の前に見えるのが北京の中心部を東西に走る長安街です。
Čim krenemo da se izlačimo, odmah se pali cigara. Ja ne znam, ja bih sad i ovdje zapravo. Imamo šibice. Nisam vidio nikog da je zapalio na kvaru. Nema. Pogledaj, brate, rančeva koliko ima. Ovdje ceo red je do lajvove. Ko je to priča? Pitaćemo vi neto, čemu se radi. Zašto mi... A to ti kažeš?
President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin. Putin has been to China many times since 2013, either for state visits or international conferences. Relations between China and Russia are at their historical best. Their ties are characterized by long-term friendly good neighborliness and mutually beneficial win-win cooperation. In the new era, China-Russia relations are more self-confident, firm, and resilient. From May 7th to 10th, President Xi Jinping made a state visit to Russia and attended commemorations in Moscow of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Soviet Union's Great Patriotic War. In World War II, China was the main battlefield in Asia, and the Soviet Union was the main battlefield in Europe. They were central to resistance and combat against Japanese militarism and Nazi Germany. They made decisive contributions to the victory in the World Anti-Fascist War. China and Russia are expanding mutually beneficial cooperation in all aspects. Bilateral trade has reached a high of over $244 billion last year. And China and Russia have active cultural exchanges and close cooperation at local levels. They have 168 pairs of sister provinces and cities, and there are also dozens of provincial-level economic partnerships.
长安路斯，联合国副秘书长陈华，联合国联盟总干事屈东旭，上合秘书长金立群行长，亚细秘书长，上合反腐机构主任，吉安条约组织秘书长，无人体秘书长，欧亚经济委员会技术委员会主任，希腊前总理帕潘德里欧，匈牙利前总理达莱马，瑞士前总理毛维尔，比利时前首相莱特姆，匈牙利外长西亚尔多，尼加拉瓜顾问陶维扬蒙，孟加拉国临时政府国家安全部门，文莱国防部装备卫士，巴西政治代表大使高旺，巴西总统首席特别顾问阿莫林，土耳其总统代表外长费丹，土耳其总统代表能源部长，埃及副总理，新加坡副总理严金友，委内瑞拉全国代表大会主席罗德里格斯，保加利亚副总理扎基罗夫，东帝汶议长费尔南达，韩国国会议长吕元直，尼泊尔总理奥利，很高兴再见。斯洛伐克总理菲佐，
很高兴再次见到你，祝贺。
越南国家主席梁强，伊朗总统及女儿，里昂莱代总统，阿塞拜疆总理奥利，
很高兴再见。
斯洛伐克总理菲佐，
Good to see you again. 很高兴再次见到你，祝贺。
越南国家主席梁强。伊朗总统及女儿，里昂莱代总统，阿塞拜疆总统和夫人，马尔代夫总统
Welcome to China. 很高兴再次见到你。
武契奇总统和夫人，高兴见到您。蒙古总统和夫人，津巴布韦总统姆南加古瓦
Welcome to China. 很高兴再次见到你。
刚果布总统萨苏，哈萨克斯坦总统托卡耶夫，印尼总统普拉博沃
Thank you for being here.
亚美尼亚总理及夫人，西哈莫尼国王，米尔基耶夫总统和夫人。
我们昨天的会见非常好。
卢卡申科总统，拉赫蒙总统。
Here's what we know about the commemoration that will happen here today. The Chinese president will deliver an important speech after the commemoration. And the commemoration includes a massive military parade, which is composed of two parts: the inspection of the troops and the march past, lasting approximately 70 minutes.
Welcome to China.
总书记。
The Chinese president and his wife welcoming guests arriving for the commemoration. And now they're walking towards a group photo where the arriving international dignitaries will take a group photo together with the Chinese president.
We are certainly marking a significant anniversary today on September 3rd. China is commemorating the 80th anniversary of the victory.
Thank you.
This gathering today in commemoration of the victory also heralds a new beginning for all countries to work together to create a harmonious world and safeguard global peace.
Well, as you can see right there, front and center on this gate is the character Duan Men. The Chinese character Duan also conveys righteousness, which is consistent with the message of safeguarding international justice.
The leaders are now walking together towards the Tiananmen rostrum. It's a short walk from the Duanmen Gate we've been telling you about, which stands just north of the Tiananmen rostrum, to the rostrum itself.
And Zhongxi, you know, for many foreign leaders who have visited China before, the Tiananmen rostrum, or the Forbidden City, is a familiar sight. Many of them have been here before to the Forbidden City. However, this gathering here today holds a special significance.
Absolutely. The Tiananmen rostrum sits right in the heart of the Chinese capital, with viewing platforms that can overlook the Tiananmen Square. The leaders will be walking towards the rostrum. They will ascend to the viewing platform on the rostrum and view the military parade together.
Now, as they walk on the red carpet to make their way to the top of the Tiananmen rostrum, a little bit of background information about the structure. It was built as a ceremonial gate to the imperial city in the Ming Dynasty. It's witnessed ties of Chinese history in the past 6 centuries.
And in 1937, Tiananmen Square witnessed the fall of Peking. In October 1945, Japanese invaders in North China officially surrendered at the square of the Hall of Supreme Harmony in the Forbidden City.
Today's commemoration is certainly a big national event, a military event as well, as troops and armaments are standing by ready for the inspection. It is also a significant diplomatic event, as heads of state, leaders of international organizations are convening here to review the commemoration and the parade.
The leaders are making full use of this time as they walk together to the Tiananmen rostrum, engaging in friendly chit-chat and conversations.
And today, the Tiananmen rostrum, steeped in the depths of history, will again witness new glory. It is a pretty long walk to ascend to the top of the Tiananmen rostrum.
"80 decades ago, World War II ended with over 100 million casualties among soldiers and civilians worldwide. Chinese casualties were more than 35 million. And today it's about commemorating the victory in that war, in the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression, as well as the World Anti-Fascist War. And now the leaders are arriving at that expansive viewing platform up on the Tiananmen rostrum.
And we understand that some of the veterans of the War of Resistance were given their own viewing spots on top of the Tiananmen rostrum. Crowds are welcoming China's top leader, as well as international dignitaries. We are seeing veterans sitting there. And President Xi Jinping and the international dignitaries. Shaking hands and 100-year-old veteran. 94-year-old veteran. 102-year-old veteran. 100-year-old veteran from the Kuomintang. And during the fight against the Japanese aggression, the Chinese people established a national united front to safeguard their homeland.
Obviously, the Chinese president was very pleased to see the veterans present up on the Tiananmen rostrum. He even introduced the veterans to his guests there, shaking hands with the veterans, greeting them, welcoming them to this very important commemoration.
And the veterans represent the legacies of this long-fought war. And their spirit of resilience, of peace, of perseverance still echo on every inch of China's soil now.
It's certainly a very heartwarming scene there to have the veterans seated up on the Tiananmen rostrum. They are the real heroes and role models, and they motivate us to keep pushing forward. The victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression is a glory shared by the Chinese nation and also people worldwide who stand for justice. Professor Gao, Mr. Zhou, let's bring you in for this part. Obviously, the veterans are seated, out there on the Tiananmen rostrum so that they have an opportunity to participate in the commemoration today. What do you make of that arrangement, Professor Gao?
Well, I think this is really the right thing to do because they fought against the Japanese aggressors. They shed their blood, and they have always been honored by the People's Republic, by the Chinese people, and now they are in the center of this reviewing process of the parade to commemorate the 80th year anniversary of the victory against Japanese aggression. And I think we all hail them as the real heroes, defending China's sovereignty and territorial integrity and fighting off the Japanese aggressors.
Real heroes and real witnesses, not only to the atrocities of the war, but more importantly to the final victory. And we're so happy that they get to see the commemoration today. Mr. Zhou, your thoughts?
Well, I think I can't agree more with Victor Gao about the importance of having these veterans standing on Tiananmen Square. I think it's rare, It won't be easy for us to see these people right now because they're all very old people, but they're still alive, but they can still see how strong China is today, in which they have made their due and a great contribution. So I think that is indeed a great honor for them to be there and for us to see them there.
Now, many of these veterans fought under extremely harsh conditions: poverty, famine, the lack of military resources. What does their perseverance teach us about the spirits of, resilience and courage? And, besides honoring them in events like this, what more could we do, Professor Gao, to really weave their legacies more into everyday life?
I think these veterans 80 years ago, or more than 80 years ago, fought against Japanese aggressors not only as soldiers, but they were true representatives of the Chinese nation, true representative of the Chinese culture and the Chinese civilization. In their bodies, I can see the most splendid and the glorious part of the Chinese civilization. So they became the epitome of the Chinese nation. They became the epitome of the Chinese civilization. And by shedding blood for their own motherland, by fighting off foreign aggressors, they set an example for the future generation. So now we honor them as our national hero, and the younger generation draw inspiration from these veterans and learn lessons from them, and we become redoubled in our commitment to defending peace and defending China and defending the Chinese culture and ultimately the Chinese civilization.
You know, obviously we're commemorating this day. We're inviting veterans up on the Tiananmen rostrum to carry on the spirit of the war of resistance against the Japanese aggression. Mr. Zhou, how do we do that? How do we make sure that the spirit of perseverance, the spirit of never surrender, the spirit of defending your motherland lives on in today's world?
Well, these people are actually old soldiers, right? And old soldiers never die. So what they have left us are actually a litany of fine traditions. But if you look at the PLA today, you would find it so interesting to see that how small they were at that time and how ill-equipped they were at that time. But on the contrary, today, China is almost the opposite, right? China is having the largest armed force in the world, and in a moment we're going to see all the modern weaponry and combat platforms. But still, this kind of fine traditions are basically in the heart and in the blood of our modern-day soldiers, because that's really matter, for us, if you are going to another war. So you have to think of where you come from, right? And what kind of traditions are already placed in you. So these people basically are the very sources of a fine tradition.
How can remembering their sacrifices and contributions inspire values that are still relevant today? Professor Gao.
Well, I think they are the true Chinese nationals and our heroes. But allow me to mention, behind these veterans, I also see those who fell on the battleground, who really sacrificed their lives for the Chinese nation. So I think we not only see these veterans who are the true representative of those heroes fighting against Japanese aggressors, but they are also representatives of all the millions of the Chinese soldiers who shed their blood, who sacrificed their life, and they too become the national heroes for the current generation of the Chinese nation and the future generations. And I think by honoring them, we honor ourselves, we honor our national history and our Chinese civilization, and we honor peace. That is the most important thing.
You know, we talked about international solidarity towards ending the Second World War, and the international solidarity is also present today with the turnout of those international dignitaries that have arrived in Beijing. You're looking at live pictures of the Tiananmen Square that's fully decorated for the commemoration today. There are the year-marking installations that show the years 1945 and 2025.